Well, we just had a thriller a few moments ago. Welcome back to the Oceania 7K World Cup 2024. And we have one last thing to do this weekend. And that is also going to be the final thing. That final time we'll be saying that specific sentence. Because indeed, we are now going to be having the final map, the last Mappool Showcase of this World Cup, the Grand Finals Mappool Showcase. I am Sir Q85, and alongside with me in the booth is Mifa.
Hello, and yes, it is finally that time for the coveted Grand Final Mappool Showcase that I feel like should be a little bit of a inside breather, especially when you consider the last match, which is China versus Philippines, to be, just down to the wire at the very end. Especially if it's just basically a big gamble at the very end, especially on the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So I think you might as well agree on that.
Yeah, like I tell you, like until now, especially with Potassium, could definitely attest to this. Like even until now, I'm still shaking from that match. I'm just trying to maintain my composure because we need to sound quote unquote professional in showcase. But yeah, let's try not to stall any further and let's start the this. We'll let you do the first one.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have any score fluctuation like the last match before, but I guess we're just gonna start with more of that fluctuation coming on. This is kind of weird to call this a speed chart for a Rice 1, but yet here we are. This is your speed chart for the Grand Finals Mappool Showcase. The first one being, by Jinjin actually. Heavy emphasis on more of the fast sweeps, not so much on the stream or whatever favors you, but this is very technical for a speed pick like this.
Yeah, I'd say like especially for like the super late game, the speed pick this transition more into like the super delay kind of style. Like while the song isn't exactly edited to sound like the key sound delay that we usually get from the BMS2DX like delay song kind of thing, like the delayed edit. Like what we had from Moongate from the previous Mappool. This instead does the delay patterns on these wub sounds that you're hearing from this chart. And aside from the hand speed, you mentioned the technicality. So there is a lot to pack with this chart in particular.
There is a lot to unpack, even with exaggerated patterns. Although you get some breaks here and there, but you would really consider that because it just comes in full force, and whatever the likelihood of that, you just don't get any break.
Yeah, but again, like with a lot of the pools, with a lot of the picks that we have for the 7K World Cup, we usually hover around like the 2-minute 30-second area, and this is definitely going to be one of the shorter picks as well in the pool. But I'd say like we're going to be seeing some pretty intense scores here regardless. Also, this is more of a thing to observe, especially with the Grand Finals pool. Are we going to be seeing any full combos in the matches next weekend? And from this first chart already, the answers already start to lean towards the no.
Well, when you considering the replayer ET Jinjin doesn't really get any further than like 96%, this spell is doomed, especially for the three teams remaining that will be playing: South Korea, Philippines, and also Malaysia. So actually have fun with this,
Yeah.
and I just don't think we can get any high 99s from later on.
Also, before we move on to the next one, let me just mention that the title of the song Fluctuation, I'm pretty sure LN3 from the finals pool is also titled Fluctuation. So yeah, it kind of built. I guess the pools do build up from each other in that manner as well. But yeah, now let's move on to our next pick, our dense core stream pick. We have Myths Orbis. And man, like unlike what we have from Love and Justice, this is bracket central. Like outright bracket central.
Yeah, this is just, if you think that Zichang Hao had like a 192 BPM or something. This is like almost a 20 BPM jump. Brackets, if you just consider that, it just exponentially gets harder when you even consider to hit them normally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that chord drill as well might end up being technically the easiest section in the chart, but we're going to see lots of rushes there, especially if the players try like loosen up on their hand control as well. And now here we see like some heavy hits on with these chord. Like this is going to be especially rough for players that are not prepared to play anything in this caliber.
Yeah, but this being an OD 8.5, this is pretty high for what is being asked for the player as well. So it's kind of just to rub it in, especially just the bracket just comes in like for no apparent reason.
Yeah, and also the other map was that this will be mad if I don't say this, but our replay here, God Mooring, is doing very well in this chart. The other Mappool selectors will be mad if I don't say that.
Yeah, there you go. More of that. Actually, I thought you failed to mention that about the chord trails like that is especially when it's more centered around the middle chord trail like that. It's just something you have to kind of keep track of. You just don't want to make sure you autopilot and get lost on one of those transitions even.
What I'd say, like, especially what we've seen over the past few weeks, even among the lower rankings, like the cold stream has always been a favorite. While this start is especially rough, I think this might be like a sure pick, especially for the remaining teams now in this roster, and also especially because of the next pick, which you will be the one introducing.
Yeah, this one's the hardest one to introduce because I feel like we're probably gonna butcher the pronunciation of this because I have no idea how to
Yeah,
do this one. You know,
yeah,
you don't have kind of luxury to do that, but yeah, Yotokibunashi no Kamikakushi. Our stamina chord stream, although stamina is kind of an understatement, even though this is shorter than 2 minutes, 240 BPM.
yeah, definitely faster than what we got from Campanella last weekend. Also, I think this is the shortest pick of the entire pool, clocking it at a minute and 50 seconds. And with picks as short as these, like you cannot afford the early misses, especially for certain players here. Like early misses are going to be super fatal, especially with how this chart is unrelenting.
Yeah, you can see just like even that. You get some shorter breather, but it doesn't really last long because you get introduced some more sporadic chord jacks, but then you just get into it in once you recover the stamina, even though I guess the second half is worse. So you just don't really get too much of a room for error.
Well, you get like a few seconds of a break in the action, but then you're immediately bombarded with like lots of notes. So effectively, like the break section is really just there for you to reposition your fingers, maybe stretch it out, like just tense up a little bit, just to, or give it like a small stretch, and then you're back into these very very long, super dense streams. And again, this clocks in at 240 BPM, which is fairly fast, or like super fast already for 4K, for 7K standards. I mean.
Well, I guess in the 4-key side, this is kind of like a child's play, but no, for a 7-key is just a completely different level of speed, especially for the chord stream. 240 doesn't. Well, I guess it gives you the luxury of doing a variety of patterns, but this has the same kind of patterns, except maybe just faster, but maybe I don't know, maybe more taxing on that stamina. Yeah.
Yeah, but unlike Yotogi Manashi no Kamikakushi, the next song title might be butchered a bit more. We have Orfevre by Shiki, our chord jack pick. And I hope I know I'll be Nihongo Jozud by the pronunciation, but anyways, here we go with the chord jack pick. And basically it's basically just a build up really from what we had from the previous from Volsted's Volson's bar, or what you call strong 140 in a way. Like we see a bit more dense, like super dense core jacks pretty much at this point. Like possibly the densest. I mean, it will be the densest that we'll be seeing throughout the entire World Cup, and it might be possible as well that this is kind of denser than what we had from last year's Grand Finals as well.
It may be denser. It's just awkward patterning. It's not you would normally consider like long jags or even just anchored in general. But this has kind of that. It's just awkward in some of those whether or not the hand gets the jags and whether hands go down. You can see like those 2-3 and then 3-4 and then 2-3 again. It's just one kind of motion that really gets you in to make sure you hit them, not necessarily sharpshooting them.
Now, also just to mention, I mean, the artist of this chart, regardless of wherever Shiki is, I hope their legacy in the rhythm game scene is still up there. Like Shiki has done so much in terms of like the rhythm game music scene, and I hope these charts are a decent tribute towards them.
Yeah, tribute for an avid trans, I guess, for all the listeners out there, especially for the players out there, we're actively engaging these kinds of music to all people around the world, and this shows a lot. And there you go. You got we already butchered like two out of 3 songs in terms of pronunciation. I believe this one is probably gonna get even worse.
Okay, what are we going to call the title of the next song?
Well, all right. Sepia Recorders. I'm just gonna call these 6 asterisks if that's fine with everyone. But this is Minerva, but easier from like last year. This is a tactic though.
Also, the difficulty name actually references a certain event that happened in the 2022 7K World Cup, with the Philippines missing out on the semifinals win against South Korea by 272 points on Goddish, which this song is actually a remix of. Also, you're already seeing how technical this chart is, so by the way, I might as well give a shout out to the note charter of this chart, this super difficult pick, the same note chart we had for technical pick last year with Minerva. I would like to greet Paul Kappa. Dinabati ko si Paul Kappa ng isang maligayang kaarawan. Happy birthday to the note charter of this chart.
Wow, happy birthday!
Yeah, what a birthday present. I mean, more like Paul Kappa giving the birthday present to the players and giving them a ridiculously hard chart to play.
Yeah, happy birthday. Not sorry for having these kinds of charts to be exposed to the 3 teams, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, like this is a really good birthday present for the teams from the birthday boy.
Yeah, this is just messed up in truest sense of the word.
I cannot even recognize that this is actually a Goddish remix.
I can't even recognize this is even a real music even.
Yeah. Also, by the way, OD 7.2, HP 7, but yeah, we don't notice that. Anyway, let's move on to our mixed rice pick.
Yeah, you got this one.
Yeah, we have Raputa, our mixed rice pick. Also, shout out to a replayer named Dalike. And similar to what we've had for the previous mixed rice picks in the pool, they usually tend to be among the harder charts in the pool as well. If you already thought the previous ones are hard, this is actually hard.
Yeah, this is not just as messed up as the 6 asterisk. Well, I guess we can call it that officially. Or I guess on stream or whatever not, or just you can call it like Vice 5. No, but this one is just Chimmy Morio, but except maybe just less space.
Yeah, and like just look at these patterns. these trills are extremely abrasive. You're already seeing some I think those are 116 bursts or grace notes or something like that. Like they're really like I don't think like the charters are really giving the players to even get through this with some decent accuracy in a way. Also, yeah, just oh man, what a yeah, nice quote unquote chord jack. But yeah, now we're into the break section of this chart. I might as well give out a special message coming from the note chart of this chart, Liju. Liju would like to give a shout out to Haruka from Blue Archive. Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever reason that make you feel good, and yeah, there you go. But yeah, you get to this course string that is, it's just kind of delayed in one sense of the word. It's just messed up in one way.
Yeah. Like, this is extremely abrasive. Like, even the brackets. Like,
oh god.
yeah. Oh man. Alright. Like, just some mini jacks in that section as well. Like, I'm actually having trouble, like, finding a way to even, like, wait, how do you even hit this?
And yeah, as we go into, like, to the end, as you know, for most TJ Hangnail songs, you know, most of the iconic speed-ups, which you see because of, I mean, the BPM, you know, there's a little bit of a BPM step-up that you might not want to miss in here.
Yeah, and now more of these chord jacks, and these are the abrasive kind of chord jacks as well, with some one for versus. But I want to call that a double stare or a triple stare, because I think but I think that might be taking a bit too much of a liberty calling it that. And that's our mixed rice pick, and we have one more rice pick.
Yeah, the last of the rice pick. Yeah, you got Kobe's Baryogenesis. You know, I guess you don't want to call it stamina, but it's a very long pick. So we got a 4-minute pick coming out for you, but this is the real 280 BPM. Well, 281 BPM. Got lots of everything except maybe just had a bit worse than Shinimorio.
And I'm already speechless with how this chart immediately starts.
Yeah, it just starts with some kind of pattern that is just. I mean, it's still fine for the most part.
Yeah, it's a fine.
It's still
just
fine.
casually grace notes inside chord jacks, all right, and some like pretty rough bursts as well. Like this, like in my circle of friends, these patterns are what we call words that I cannot say on stream.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah, yeah, like.
Oh yeah, he got the chord string that just like almost plays like a trill in chord streams.
And to say that this might be relatively the easier part of this chart, and you already see how ridiculous like the stairs, like the skating stairs we're seeing here.
No, completely just rather about the thing that you want to say on stream, you know.
Yeah. Like, now we're back into the super bursty section, like lots of I cannot even tell. Actually, now that you 281 BPM 1/4. Like just like doing bursts that fast.
Like, it just keeps going. Like the patterns itself are just doesn't let up.
Yeah, we're just halfway through the chart and it already felt like I played the entire pool. Oh, we're just watching this.
And now we just get more into some of these chord string almost, with 5-note chord every hit.
Yeah, this is practically like the most straightforward section in a way. Like simpler patterning. Somebody could correct me on that. Yeah, simpler, relatively speaking. And then again, some more of these big hits that 281 BPM chord jacks, like some mini super heavy sections.
I guess the only ample time to say that the break section, it does give you plenty, but once you get there, you just get barraged into like every single patterns that comes up, even like in 281 BPM. You got coursing that are just straight up just stairish course string. You got trillish course string almost, and now it comes back into staircases like this again.
Yeah, like the patterning changes up so fast that it's so hard to lock in on a certain style. Like you kind of have to pay so much attention to the stuff you're actually hitting, or else you might get a misread, which is like super easy to get in a chart of this caliber.
Oh, now you just get more graces, and after when you get to the second section there, even more of some of those whoop delays there.
It actually gets really hard to read. Like I cannot even recognize the overall pattern at this point.
Yeah, this is just an expressive pattern.
Yeah, like charting is an art form, and the charter really gave this enough justice. Now we will be opening the LN pool with the only non-custom chart for this weekend. We have Thatch's Reunion, and this is a really old song, if I say so. Like from what I remember. Yeah, this is our LN release pick.
Yeah, if you thought like the finals LN release one was just make sure you get the staccatos right, just introduce vocal dumps into your LN release and you get this.
Yeah, and again, I had to clarify. Only non-custom chart. Yes, this is the only note chart that is currently uploaded before this Mappool Showcase. And LN release pick. Why does this look more like O2 Jam full LN?
Yeah, well, just because it kind of is. I mean, when the difficulty says azimuth, it's a danger for teams that are not really proficient on getting that to the skill level you're at now.
also, I might as well note, like, in between all of the madness that you saw, there are actually reverse shields inserted into the patterns as well, and it's going to be and even on stream, it's going to be super hard to catch. Like, they're just out there. Like, you're already seeing they're like in the outer columns of the stage as well.
And I'm pretty sure the last quarter of it gets worse because it repeats twice. Like these ones, you get vocal dust, but it's actually repeated twice.
Yeah, this is essentially like a vocal. Like, I guess if you're trying to make sense of this way this is charted, I'd say like try to follow the like the gaps in between the LNs, like the stair-looking gaps with the vocals in this chart, because basically, I guess that's like the best way to make sense of this chart for the most part, especially for those with untrained eyes, so to speak. Also, yeah, just mentioning Azimuth Dan, huh?
Yeah, if the LN1 was like 9 or 10 Dan or whatever. Yeah, this is you're jumping 2 levels, just so to speak. Yeah, right. We'll be moving on. More of that LN action going on. You got Forbidden Light by people who are more Zenonium 5 chart. If you thought we got more of that coordination heavy, I guess more akin to like the finals one we've seen. This is just pure O2 Jam, like just straight at you.
Yeah, and also this is very different in a way. Like, you wouldn't even recognize. Wait, is this LN coordination? Because even from what we had last year, it was mostly I think it was like mostly 1/2 LN bracketing in a way. Like, in a way, this one is a bit more on that, like leaning more towards like a super hard coordination style pattern. You're seeing some brackets, also staccato LN shields.
We got the outer trills. Oh my god.
Oh man, outer curls.
Oh god, this looks really bad already. Even with the shields, actually, even the release timings, you can you might not notice on the stream immediately, but there's like a note after like 1/8 snap or whatever the release timing is.
By the way, Delicate actually FC'd this in this replay, I think. And now and see the chart really like, yeah.
The only symbols that oh god.
I can't even see the like. It's so hard to see the gaps in between the LNs. Like you're not like for that section, you were not seeing like a very long LN like just transferring into each other.
Oh
it's
god,
like
you got the shield like this.
Yeah, also that. Like this, the patterns here are actually pretty hard to explain in a way. Like you just need to play it to be able to. Also, yeah, staggered bracket. 32-bit pattern. This has
how
everything.
How is Delicate ever actually able to FC this? I just do not understand.
What is that score?
Yeah,
but yeah, before we even get overwhelmed, we have Gario Tensei, our LN density pick.
Yeah, and more the classic. I believe this was like qualifier for like 4K 2021 or something like that. But we got reintroduced with this one for LN density.
And you mentioned in the notes as well that this might be the most favored pick, LN pick of the entire pool, and I do agree with that. Despite seeing the madness already immediately, like basically seeing what is practically a full LN chord stream, inverted chord stream.
Yeah, this is the purest form of LN chord stream you will ever gonna get. Even though some of the timings are, well, I guess it's consistent enough. Some of them are even like tighter than before, but I guess it's approachable for some. So hopefully this should not pose too much of a problem.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be seeing lots of ridiculous scores in this pool as well. And yeah, you mentioned the different LN gaps, and you're going to see a lot of those throughout this entire chart.
Yeah, I believe this would really favor some teams that I mean, I would say Malaysia would have actually really gunning on this one, especially with the proficiency of handling more of the denser LN sections. Although we still got this one more to go. This is just now basically full LN core stream.
It is full LN pretty much.
I mean, thankfully this is not score V2 V1. You just call luck to oblivion.
Yeah, I just imagine this on score V1, especially especially with how score V1 behaves. It's going to be. I think just play this on score V2.
Especially, yeah, very straightforward and consistent pick for LN density. So hopefully they shouldn't be that much of a ban worthy.
Also, again, FC.
Yep, that's the second FC I think from the entire Mappool Showcase. I think. But yeah, we got more LNs again. This is a little more the next one. This time you got another Zenonia 5. Well, motion. Although you'll get some more of that stuff, which is more O2 Jam. But yeah, if you just don't like Forbidden Light, then you get this, which is more wacky.
Yeah, unlike what we had from even LN1 as well. Like now we're just leaning more towards like the super abrasive, super shield heavy charts that we all know and love from O2 Jam. And that's basically what this chart really tries to emulate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think especially for those who are more into know, I think they should be leaning more towards like the high level 80s, almost leaning to the level 90 O2 Jam charting level. Also, yeah, just a note, spacebar mini jack as well, like in between the madness.
Oh yeah, I think we probably forgot to mention because this is a mirror replay, so might be a little bit different for some, but hopefully they should not be too much of a concern because of how heavy the chart is. You can just play it as you would normally would.
Now, like the bursts here are actually really are like extremely tricky, and you're also having a fair share of them on both hands as well. So even if we have the showcase not on mirror, I think this is still going to be an extremely ridiculous chart to play. Definitely something that will be left towards the more to the tail end of a match, or should I say like a picking strategy in a way.
Even though you get some of those reverse shield, I mean, thankfully this is not shields because if anything else, it would be like some kind of like Tsuki Murakumo from like 17 DH chart that is very cursed around now.
Oh man, you just have to mention that chart. You kind of have to. Yeah, that chart is hard, and this is basically like that taken up to 15, not even 11, just 15.
Oh god, you get to get that was the ending as well, but that's pretty much for LN4. This is the last LN, and you probably would really delighted to introduce that one.
And up next is the chart that has the best background in the entire pool. We have Watoha Rocket featuring Neko Hacker. A chart by Maple Syrup, and this is all. And the background also as well features E.T. Blocko, E.T. Turney, and E.T. Jinjin, three of the most beloved characters in the entire Osamania Samike community.
Although we don't see E.T. Turney because it's just being blocked.
Yeah, blocked by the stage.
Well, I guess it's long as well, but it's almost 10 stars. So we haven't seen 10 stars just as yet, though. So hopefully this, I mean, I guess the chart kind of speaks for itself, even.
Yeah, but I'd say like outside of LN3, this pick in particular is going to be pretty favored as well. Because this chart, like especially the LN consistency chart, is usually designed to be among the I'd say the high scoring LN chart. I won't say the term easy because this chart is not easy at all, but the patterns are relatively tamer in a way, like in terms of abrasiveness, but the difficulty is still right there.
Well, I guess in a grand final scheme of things, it's just your patterns have to be crazy enough to be able to have some aesthetically pleasing patterns.
And with this as well, like clocking at 4 minutes 21 seconds, this is officially like the second longest regular pick in the entire 7K World Cup. I think the longest one clocks in like around 4:30 or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, even though we get some sectional based like things like this, I would also say that this is also a collab as well between Paul Kaplan and Shadowkin as well.
Well, anyways, actually, from what I know, this is actually just from Maple Syrup. But anyways, we move on. Like more of these, not like these super abrasive patterns. Most likely the staccato LNs will be some accuracy trap as well. And also the shield usage might trip up, especially if they're on the outer columns. I might have to mention. Oh yeah, that pattern. Reverse shields, by the way. If like you, and leaning more towards these a bit more abrasive patterns.
Oh yeah, we got yeah. Even now, some of these patterns are just starting inflation. you just have some short LNs for just to rub it in.
But again, I think I'll keep my word here. Like this might be one of the more favored picks still in the entire pool, just because of like the just relative abrasiveness. Like this might be on the lower end, at least for the LN pools. Really. Like it's there. I mean, it's grand finals. It will always be there. But not to mention even the song choice kind of fits. Like especially knowing the players remaining, especially knowing the remaining players in the tournament.
Oh my god, what
the players will like this? Nice patterns, by the way, Maple.
Oh god. Oh, now we actually get into the spicier stuff on the very end too.
Yeah, just inverted brackets as well. Like inverted brackets at play somehow like chord jacks, mind you.
Damn, I think this might have been an FC as well. I just don't
this is an
understand.
FC, yeah. High Act FC, by the way. Almost a gaining act in this section as well.
Jeez, okay, let's chill. Like
Alright. Alright.
the three MCs from Daily K on the LN. I guess you would expect the teams to be able to match that kind of performance, but they had to battle it out against the other teams that are remaining as well.
Yeah. We have some really decent players in the community. Let's just say that. Anyways, I think it's time for us to open up the hybrid pool. Last three charts of this pool with you.
Yeah, all right. First hybrid, yeah. We got Seraphim, but I guess you would kind of, I mean, as per every map pool structure, hybrid. We always start with the generic hybrid. This is one. I guess you would normally say that the core stream would be the most concerned thing about this one, which that is to say, that's kind of an understatement.
Like, also again, happy birthday to Paul Kappa. Like, just had to mention that because Paul
Again?
Kappa appears again in this pool.
The second
But
birthday.
yeah, here you go. Chord streams. As you mentioned, the chord streams here are actually a bit more abrasive. They're more reminiscent towards like how O2 Jam charters are doing their chord streams. Like a bit more of those symmetric patterns.
Oh god, what is that? Hourglass patterns or whatever that kind of thing is.
Yeah, you're gonna see more of those, even the inverted variant, as we already saw like a few moments ago. Now these super dense chord jacks, like some diamond shaped chord jacks as well, thrown in the mix.
Yeah, even some of those aren't just not that straightforward either. Even the anchored ones, some of those. Jeez, okay.
I mean, you kind of have to note, like, those are 200 BPM chord jacks. Not exactly the easiest to hit.
Yeah, it's like I think like 1/3 200 BPM. So I think it might have been like 150 BPM almost.
Yeah, but still though, like the effective BPM of those chord jacks are not exactly the easiest. Oh yeah, nice double thumb pattern right there, transitioning into this dense section. Lots of ace bar emphasis in this chart.
Yeah, yeah. Even some of these simpler ones. These are just core stream, but if you just mix one of these kind of LN in the way, it just makes it kind of patterns look like really hard to even get through, right? That's kind of the charm for the hybrids to come, actually.
Also, by the way, like even though this is what we usually consider break section, but like, that part is like really hard. Now more into these super abrasive pattern. Man, this is fun to look at.
Yeah, I mean this is fun to look at, but I just think that this is only fun if the replay actually does a lot of things right, and the other case shows you can still even still having I mean not FC, but it's just like high comfort from devs too.
And well, that is Hybrid 1. And as you mentioned, Hybrid 1 is usually the favorite pick as well of the teams. So that kind of like that is some foreboding aura right there.
Yep, we got more of that hybrid to come there. This time is a technical hybrid, and yeah, we got a return of SDMNE. So introduce this one for us now.
This chart is a collaboration between two esteemed charters in the community. We have Wonky and Liju, and this is, I think, the second World Cup in a row we have SDMNE featured in the Grand Finals pool. So we had if I remember correctly, Beyond the Axis last year, taking the hybrid 3 slot on the previous pool, but now this time around, this is very different. Like you're going to see like extremely abrasive patterns, just building up from the technical hybrid name.
Yeah, this is if you just take Raputa, but you made it even unhinged.
Yeah, like just add L and Saraputa, and you basically get this start. Like some like the asymmetric stairs here that even leads up towards like some polyrhythms as well. Like this is going to be extremely hard to get some accuracy on. Even an OB6.
Oh yeah, this I would imagine like some teams would even probably miss on this kind of section just because it's simple enough.
I mean, like we've seen a lot of people miss on these on this section, on these kinds of sections in particular. Like we've seen that throughout the entire weekend as well.
Yeah.
Won't be surprised if anything similar happened.
And now we got more of that, you know, the classic Leiju patterns with those shoulder LMs like that.
I like when we're just calling it Leiju patterns now. But yeah, like lots of like super abrasive, fast, 112, 116 stairs, transitioning into like the super abrasive patterns, and not to mention the LN gaps in between the LNs as well. You kind of have to be careful and pay attention to those. Very easy to miss out on.
Yeah, these are just whoop central for everything. You just layer one sound one after the other, and it just makes it coherent enough.
And even the ending doesn't even look straightforward. Oh my gosh! All right.
Yeah. Well, that's just the extent of technical hybrid, isn't it? It's not like not getting even less obnoxious than like when we see on the finals here. So, you know, something like that shouldn't happen on the last hybrid that we're gonna be showing for the last Mappool Showcase, isn't it? But this time we got more Hiho, straight out anti-front. You know, this is your 10-star, quote unquote, I guess. Let's see. So, Hiho's chart has been historically been very, very hard to even play on Score V2. But this is essentially a hybrid that you would normally see on, you know, some kind of like Beyond the Axis kind of thing. This is just Reunion, but worse.
Oh man, I'm actually pretty excited to see the scores of this chart, should this chart be picked in particular. Also, just have to mention, Hiho is the last person to make their custom map debut in this World Cup, and obviously it just had to be the last regular pick we will showcase for this World Cup.
Yeah, you got.
Hiho has been, Hiho has been known to dish out like these ridiculously hard charts. Especially like they're super famous among the higher level players, like the circles of the higher level players, like known for their super hard O2 Jam style charts as well.
And yeah, you get some of these vocal downs, but except this is whoop dumps. Just compare this like to Reunion. This is kind of that style from Hiho, and this clearly shows.
And also, just to mention, like the patterns here are super unrelenting. Like you're seeing these pretty big flams inserted, like embedded in this chord stream. What is effectively a double stair if your eyes are trained enough.
Well, I guess you get some pretty generous breaks, so I guess the only saving grace is that. Except maybe for the fact that you for every single Hiho chart that you play, you don't get something like
yeah, more of these. Correct me if I'm wrong, O2 Jam charters. This is what you call like a 32-bit or even a 64-bit pattern at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, just give
it makes up for the generous breaks. Yeah.
yeah, like just give like a short like for I think this is a trend. Like give the players like a break section to take a rest out of, and then immediately just throw them into the deep end with like some ridiculous patterning that they will definitely choke on if they're not practicing at all. Even that the pattern is.
And then you go.
Whoa! There you go.
And hey, I guess you forgot to mention this keeps on and on, actually until almost at the very end too. So you get that as well. You don't want to get any semblance of break.
And now just full LN with irregular releases, by the way. Yeah, the players are going to have so much fun in this map pool.
So much emphasis on this fun for the remaining 3 teams.
Yeah, fun with a capital F-U-N, so to speak.
Yeah, but that's basically it actually. Even after you get to this spot, it's just pretty much when you see the score difference like that for the remaining teams, I believe that you would seal your fate for whatever the point is going to go for the opposing team or whatever. But yeah, that's very last regular pick of the tournament. Yeah, very last regular pick of the
Yeah.
tournament. So all that's left is the
Let's call
tiebreaker,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, and let's just say that before we show the tiebreaker, I might as well give a shout out to everyone in the Mapple selection team. Thank you so much for giving us these pools to enjoy. I mean, even us who are not even playing in the tournament, like have enjoyed these pools, like these pools that basically show the amount of quality from the charters that we have had. I'll give more specific shout outs later in the stream. But yeah, that's chart 91 out of 92. For chart number 92, we definitely have something special in store for you guys. So without stalling a bit further, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Osimania 7K World Cup 2024 Grand Finals Tiebreaker.
Here is your jingle after that.
In the tranquility of dim-lit chamber, my reality davages, as though light itself fractures into myriad of truth. The melody whispers through the stillness, my solitary refrain resonating with the silent orchestra of the night.
And there you have it. Grand Finals tiebreaker for Mania World Cup 7 Key 2024. Grand Finals tiebreaker on full effect. Very, very big, massive thank you there for Citrus for creating this song, this animate for the original, for the last tiebreaker for this tournament.
Yeah. That is map number 92 out of 92 for the Oceania 7K World Cup 2024. Custom map number 89 out of 92 as well, which leads us to a final custom map percentage for this World Cup of,
Yeah, you guessed it.
yeah,
96.7%.
96.7% of the charts made for this World Cup are custom. Only 3 charts were not custom made for the tournament. That was round of 24. Round of 24 Rice 1, round of 24 Hybrid 1, and Grand Finals LN1, as we mentioned earlier in the showcase. And with that, I might as well give a shout out to the entire Mappool selection team. You already saw the names there at the end of the chart. But I might as well give them a shout out as well here on stream. We have the Mappool selectors. Obviously, No Name, who has placed around 50,000 plus notes on the editor for this World Cup. What a feat. We have Underjoy, Makiba, and Remmering as well. All of the playtesters, Kobe, Blocko, E.T. Blocko, Carpi Hat, Delike, Evening, Jinjin, Lulu M, Maple Syrup, Random, Remmering, Rhymes with Nash, Rocco, Turney as well, and the custom charter scope, like Kobe Stan, Underjoy, Yi, No Name is one of them, Blocko, Critical Star, Evening. We have Lijo as well, who has provided us with a lot of really beautiful patterns. I mean, Evening as well, shout out for that finals tiebreaker. What a tiebreaker that was. Level 51, Maxus, we have Paul Kappa as well, PWHK, Tabatu, Tails DK, and Zenonia. I tried to not mention my name because I'm the one talking. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, you get a pat on the back as well, so you know.
Yeah, I try not to mention my name because sure, part of the team. But yeah, those. I hope I did not miss anyone. Of course, it was Hiho as well. Like literally the last charter to debut this World Cup, and basically that's the entire team that has made all the craziness that you have seen over the past 5, 6, 7 weekends. But we have one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, a massive thank you as well for the designers that also worked for the entire Osu Origins that I really came up so far for this tournament as well, especially for that Grand Finals tiebreaker. It's they're very, very, very will not go unnoticed and will be very, very much acknowledged for for the other events to come as well. This kind of thing, this kind of recognition is very much appreciated for all of us, really.
And I think we should give a shout out as well to the people who were part of the tiebreaker, like the designs and all that stuff. We have Sakura 006, the charters as well. Man, I'm actually shaking from the tiebreaker showcase. I'm starting to mess up the names.
Yeah, these are a lot of contributions, and these are really pretty much a lot of go unnoticed as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it for basically Grand Finals Mappool Showcase. For the 3 teams that are remaining for the entire tournament: South Korea, Malaysia, and Philippines. These are a tough uphill battle to climb, to make sure they get themselves to a fixed position on the podium. Even though they are already on the podium themselves, but we're still not guaranteed on one just yet. So it's a battle. It's a battle for for whoever gets the first place, whoever gets the second place, whoever we found for the champion for the Oceania 7K World Cup 2024.
But again, man, massive thank you again to the Mapple selection team. Massive thank you to all of the song artists, song producers that have made those originals for this tournament. Massive thank you for all of the people involved with the graphic side as well, with the videos, the voice acting, the storyboards, like everyone who everyone who has contributed to this side of the tournament has made the tournament so fun. But yeah, as we mentioned, only one more weekend. 3 countries remain, and good luck. Good luck to all of the players, and also try to be careful with your practice as well. Like, the pools are super physical. Try not to injure yourselves, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, obviously, before you get to a coveted tiebreaker, even though we really do hope to see to get to a tiebreaker situation, but again, just a little bit of a hint, a little bit of an advice for before you get to a tiebreaker. Just please rest your hands before you attempt the tiebreaker, because essentially that's the one life on the line before you get into a winner or loser situation there.
But yeah, I think it's time for us to wrap this baby up, and man, I'm actually speechless. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Oceania 7K World Cup 2024 Grand Finals Mappool Showcase. It's Search285 and Mifa in the booth. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week, guys.